Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Get Cracked Up podcast. I'm here with my boy Six and Jeff. Say what's up, y'all. My fault.
Was good A? Was good A?
Was good.
Topic of the week: Cal.
Hold on.
But first, we're gonna.
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
But first, we're gonna recap the ass whooping that we gave to them Utes in Salt Lake City.
Bingo. Hey, let me say this real quick. My prediction was off. I know I said like 47, 48 to 17 or some shit. Them boys only put up 6. Oh my god.
I think we're all off on the score.
Bro, I think we all expected Utah to put up a better fight than what the fuck they did.
I think I said like
I think I said 35-24, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I did guess our score right. I did. I guessed ours right at least, but not theirs. I was off by a lot.
Them boys ain't come to play. God damn, bro. But yeah, no, I enjoyed last week up until late mid third quarter because it becomes like I know we good with the W. I always want the W first. But bro, a quarter and a half, you telling me we couldn't put up no points without starters out there for most of that? Like only half a quarter technically Ty Thompson came in. I think he came in like the last 6 minutes or something. Probably less than that. So it's like, damn, we couldn't score no more points. Like I know everybody be like, let's just get the W. Like, bro, the game was far out of hand at that point. Like, fucking run that shit up. Like, this team was considered our last, like, outside of Oregon State, our last toughest test. Like, nobody expecting USC to put up a fight against us. Like, so this was where we needed to make more of a statement that we was really one of the most dominant teams. Because, like, yeah, we dominated them on the field, but it's like, damn. Like when it come down to those big games, you can't be shown as the team that can go a whole quarter without scoring. If you feel if you see what I'm saying, like when they look at that stuff, they're gonna like, yeah, they beat the Utes, but throughout that blowout, when it was a time where when they needed to lean on something, they couldn't get the ball down the field. I didn't even say get the ball down the field because it wasn't like we was just running. We was still throwing the ball, but for some reason we just couldn't get to the end zone. So
I'm not really sure what it was. It's just like it seemed like everything that they were doing in the first half was working beautifully this week, but then they just like they went away from it. Like they like you said, like and I agree with it because I don't know why in a sense a lot of Oregon fans were saying don't run up the score, that's disrespectful. Bro, when Utah was trying to go to the playoffs in 2021,
they
what
ran
the
that
fuck did
bitch
they
up.
do to us? They ran that shit the fuck up on us.
And
Why? Because style points matter.
style points matter. And when we played, what year that was? I want to say was it 19? I think it was Washington or some shit. Them motherfuckers beat us like 70 something. Like they blew us. They blew us
I
out,
think
bro.
was it
at 10 to
2016?
21.
Was it?
What?
I think it was 16 when Herbert was a freshman. They beat us like that. Awesome.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know they blew us the fuck out, and I guarantee you they wasn't just sitting on the sideline thinking about, oh, that's disrespectful. Nah, they wanted a point. They had a point to prove, bro. They wanted to get to the play. And if I'm correct, let me see. Has Washington been in
Yeah,
the playoffs?
Washington.
It was
Yeah,
it was that
Washington's the
same
only.
year, right?
Yep. Washington's the only other team that made the playoffs in the
So it
back.
was the same as you can see. So they knew what they had to do to get to the playoffs. Being the team that they was, like they had to be able to run up the scores and show that they was one of the most dominant scoring teams in the nation. And yeah, we is that, but shit, man, take advantage of this shit sometimes, man. I want to blow these motherfuckers out. I want to start feeling like the old Oregon. Like I want to feel like, god damn, boy, we can put up 50 by halftime. You give us a
Hell yeah,
chance to.
bro.
I miss that shit, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I miss that. But yeah. I enjoyed the game. I liked the way both sides of the ball played. That was the first complete game we played this season. Everybody did their part. Um, we had some little hiccups in the beginning, but as the game went on, you could see everybody locked in. And they came down off the high horse or came off the out of the moment shit, and they just played their game. Everybody did their part. As Dan Lennon say, It's 11 players on the field. He just need 11 players to do what they're supposed to do, and we're gonna win. And that's what they did. They did what they were supposed to do for those specific plays that they were in, and we got the job done. So that's where I'm at with that Utah game. But like I said, I expected it to be a better fight than that. I really don't have, outside of me wanting the score to be run up some more, I really don't have no flaws to pick at with that game.
Uh, I will say that the defense they play great. So I give them like an 8.5 because there were some plays to where they got confused,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of guys just breaking free like open. Like they gotta fix that. Even though like they handled the game, they could have handled it like very perfectly to where they could have easily put up 50 points.
Yeah.
50.
I also, I know I said it's no, I don't have no flaws to pick up, but I noticed one thing during the game is that Utah was getting a lot of underneath routes, like curl routes, out routes, because our DBs was just constantly running straight back because they expecting people to keep running deep routes, like we playing Washington all over again.
And yeah, and that's not really Utah's game. They're the type of team that's gonna try to run it down your throat and then get it to those big tight ends. Which I mean, Utah has big tight ends, but not like last year and the year before
Yeah,
with Kincaid,
yeah,
I believe. Yeah, Kincaid
yeah.
was
He
an
was
animal.
cooking. He had
But
me hot, boy. I remember that game. But
but
yeah,
what about you, Jeff?
Jeff, Mr. Quiet Guy can't show his face.
I mean, yeah, the defense played good. They had a couple hiccups at the end of the game and the beginning of the game, but they cleaned up the second half, I think. Um, Offense clicked. I feel like they just gave up. Like they didn't keep their foot on the gas. That's why they just didn't score the second half.
And a lot of people were saying too that Lanning wasn't going to run up the score because he respects
Yeah.
Kyle over there at Utah.
You can
And
respect somebody and still show that your
but
team
yeah,
is like, brother.
yeah, that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
the way I think how it was, the offense stopped trying so hard so they could give Ty some reps. But then the Ty didn't even throw the ball. So I'm just like, okay, well, just to see like how he would do against a top
Mm-hmm.
15 team. But then they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna run the ball. There's no point in throwing it. So I was just like, why'd you even put him in the game? Like, what was the point? Just to give him the ball to the running back? Okay.
Yeah, I think that was just a waste of like reps that Ty could have
Yeah, that's why I say I
really.
feel like they were trying to see how he would do in a top 15 team, but then they were like, yeah, either they still don't trust him or they just didn't give him the opportunity to show him what he could do against a top 15 team.
And I think like they have to get over that. Like when we get in these types of games, the where there's blowouts, like you're either going to trust him or you're not going to trust him. Like at the end of the day, Ty's got to stay confident regardless of how he plays, even if it's in that short period of time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, shit. If that's it, that's all we. I mean, we really ain't got shit to say about that game because it was just so dominant. We picked at the little flaws that we did have with the game. We can talk about some recruiting real quick. Because we landed Elijah Rushing finally. It finally came through. How y'all feeling about that?
I'll let you go first, Jeff.
Yeah,
Man, that's huge because I think we can have the best D line class in the country.
agreed.
I definitely agree with that for sure,
Uh,
Joe. Like,
I, I, I personally, I love. He reminds me of KT. Like he reminds me of KT. Like everybody thought that like KT. I wouldn't say they thought he was undersized, but more so they were expecting a bigger guy with what the hype was around him and stuff. But I feel like Elijah is the same way. Um, he do got some things that he could work on when he get to this level because like I watch some of his highlights and I see he consistently does like he'll repeatedly do some rush moves and stuff and I know like at this level offensive linemen pick up on that and then you gotta also have more in your arsenal than just typical stuff that you used to doing. Like you got to be able to switch it up. So it's definitely some things that he could touch up on. But I love everything about him as a player. And I think we're gonna get a lot out of him, and I think he will be one of them players that come in and be a day one impact on this offense. Like I ain't gonna say he's gonna be the instant starter, but I will say I do think he will get at least 50% of the snap from other edges. So that's what I look at with him.
Just like it, like he's not gonna blow you away with his power, but he's a speedy edge rusher, man. Like he does have the strength to use power rush moves, but it's more so his speed that he
Speed,
uses,
yeah.
and I don't know if it's just me, bro, but if y'all just take a moment of your time just to look at him and just like really take a look at like how like he looks like a big ass version of Bryce Young, bro. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
tripping, but he looks like a big ass version of Bryce Young. It's funny.
Yeah, nah. I said the same thing when I seen the picture of him. He definitely does.
And he wears number 9, so that makes it even funnier. I was like, that's just a buff ass version of Bryce.
I wonder if he's gonna wear that in college too. Number 9.
I think Jamal Hill gonna be gone, so it's possible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, number 9 is only Jamal Hill. Ain't nobody else got number 9.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll probably be gone.
I don't even think nobody wear it on the offense. Or is it
Mm,
Novosad? Does Novosad was 16, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then. Yeah. Nah. I think it'll definitely be his. I mean, it don't matter. You can have somebody with the same number on both sides. So.
Yeah.
You should wear 99 for all I care. Just come in and do something.
Comment and do your thing. That's literally all that fucking matters. Was there any other one that we could remember?
If y'all want to talk about Sione,
Oh
I guess.
yeah, I know. I think we talked about him. Yeah, I think we talked
Yeah.
about him last month. We talked about him.
Oh,
We talked about him, but I mean, shit. We all know. He also moved up in rankings, so it's also gonna be good. I'm ready for him to come in because I know he's gonna be an instant impact player. He's definitely gonna play right away. Uh, uh, and that's somebody I think we need a player like that for when we get to the Big Ten. I think the players that Dan Lanning is getting is preparing us for the Big Ten. I know I know, like I always say, I know we preach a lot of hitting the transfer portal for this position, that position, but when you look at the guys that's finna come in, you got three of the top 20 DBs that's coming in this class. You already got a number one safety on your roster, a top 10 safety on your roster. I don't want to say number one because I don't know if I'm for sure that. I know he top 10 though in Aaron Flowers. Um, so you got the guys. You just gotta they gotta be ready. Either they are ready or you gonna have to get them ready. And I'm hoping that a lot of those guys are ready already. So when we get to the Big Ten, it's no drop off. Like I wanna still feel like good about my team and say that I feel like I talk shit to every team over there in the Big Ten and be like, yeah, nah, we can definitely go undefeated. Even though I know I'm bullshitting, I still want to be able to say it. But yeah, so that's that. That's why I feel so strongly about Ty also because when you look at Ty, his size and his abilities, I feel like it's gonna translate well into the Big Ten because he's not a quarterback that you can just hit around and shit. Like he's a stocky guy. Like he got some size to him. He get out there with the best of them when they come down the size. So that's why I'm so hyped about seeing where he done got in his development as a quarterback and everything. So I can't wait to see that next season also. But yeah, I think that's all for me with the recruiting.
I ain't got anything else on recruiting, Jeff. Do you?
I mean, I just like how Dan Lanning never gave up on rushing, and he said he never was. He still fought for him, and he got him. So I mean,
It's a couple
And
more
he still
quarters.
got plenty of time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
A couple more.
yeah, he can do that with. Yeah, he got a couple more he can do that with too. So never count
Yeah.
that man out. That's all I gotta say about recruiting. Though.
All right. Let's cover some Cal real quick. I will say this real quick because I'm gonna leave my part short on the Cal game. If it's a team that I expect the score to be a certain way, I expect the score to be what it was in Utah, I expect to score like that from California. Like I expect the 35-6 or 40 something to 10 like something like I expect that out of Cal. But I won't count them out. I do think they will have a good rushing game simply because when it comes down to discipline and rushing lanes, what our linebackers they can get out of place a lot of times, but sometimes they still be able to make plays. But this Cal offense leans on their running back, which is a good ass fucking running back if you ask me. I think if he was at any other program, he would definitely be getting some major some national attention. But because he is where he is, that's where it's at with him. But outside of that, um, I don't see their defense keeping Bo in check at all. Shit, Utah couldn't keep Bo in check, and they got the number one. They had the number one defense in the Pac-12 that day before the game, so I don't expect Cal defense to do that. I think as long as we stop the run game, I think our defense will be good. I can see our DBs eventually second half having a couple interceptions because we're gonna put Cal in a situation where they got to throw the ball a lot. So that's what I'm expecting from the game. What you guys expect?
Well, I know Cal likes to play with speed, like how they were trying to get in that little boat race with USC last week, which they should have beat USC. I will say that
I mean,
they should have
I
beat them.
I will say I think anybody can get in the boat race with USC at this point.
But but I don't know. I just don't see this being close in any way. I mean, it's just not comparable in talent wise. Like, there's nobody that's going to be able to hold Franklin, Tez. There's nobody that's going to stop Bucky out there. Bo's going to go out and do his thing. As long as the defense plays how they should play and plays to their abilities, this should not be no scare in any type of way. They should be walking right back to the locker room with smiles on their faces.
Agreed. Jeff?
I think the RPO game and Jaden Knott might be a problem.
Yeah. And that's what that was my point. Jay not like I do think I think he gonna get his. I think we still gonna keep him in check because uh when you take somebody away, like if we have drives where we take away that run game and we're low in the box and we keeping Jalen in check, I think that takes away from Cal offense because they use him to open up the RPO game, like because then you start biting down to get to him in a hurry. I think if our front can make a big difference this game and keep him in check without having to have everybody load up the box, I think we'll be straight. I think he'll still get his, but I think we'll be straight in that sense. But continue what you were
I
saying. My
think
bad for interrupting.
no, I mean, I think he'll have a good game, but I feel like our second half adjustments will stop that, and then they're gonna have to figure out something else out, and that's when I go to RPOs because RPOs they can do a lot of stuff with RPOs, and
Mm-hmm.
they were showing that in the USC game,
Yeah, that's for sure.
and I feel like once someone bites, they might bite to the wrong side or to the wrong player, and they might have a free lane. You never know. I mean,
Yeah,
because
no,
they
that's
haven't
facts.
played anybody with a high RPO in the since we played the game. Nobody's really had like that type of offense that we played yet.
Yeah, no, that's facts. I agree with you on that one, Brycey.
Oh, I already gave mine.
Oh yeah, you did. My bad. All right, so if it's three key players that y'all looking at for this game, what's your three key players?
Shit. Um, I'm gonna go with Evan. Evan was boomsticking everybody last week. I fucking love to see it. Like,
I think
it's
I
been a
think
while.
I think he will be a big factor this week simply because of how much um Cal gonna run the ball or run quick RPO plays. Like I think he will be a major factor this week.
He's like a Swiss Army knife for us, bro. Like, his coverage ain't the greatest in the world, but he doesn't tend to get burnt a lot, and that's what I like about it. Like, he keeps everything in front of him. As long as he just doesn't over pursue and sets his feet, he always gets the tackle.
Mm-hmm. All
But
right, other two.
number two, it's obviously gonna be Bucky. I feel like we go as far as Bucky goes, man. I mean, I just think that's how it. Like, I might be crazy, but at the end of the day, like when you look at the stat sheet every single week, bro, Bucky's just racking up yards every single week. So like, we go. I think we go as far as Bucky goes. So I'm gonna go with Bucky. And my last one, I'm gonna go with Mateo. I think Mateo is gonna have that little spark freshman game right there. He's gonna go out there and feast. I think he's gonna do his thing.
All right, I'll go. Give me Brandon Dorless. I think he's going to play a lot in the inside this game, so I think him up against the center in the run game, he's going to have a big impact. I think he's going to have at least 3 tackles for a loss this game, or I would say in between that, or he going to have at least 2 sacks this game. So give me Brandon Dorless. Give me Jamal Hill this game because again the RPO, the running game, he's gonna have to be coming downhill a lot. He's gonna have to make sure he contain because we only run 2 linebackers, so he technically got a side to watch. So he gotta keep his eyes on track. Make sure the quarterback don't run. Make sure the quarterback don't pull and hit the quick slant. And then my last one is gonna be Kyrie Jackson, or I'm gonna just say Kyrie. I'm gonna just say Kyrie and J Flow because of the RPO game. They got to keep their head on the swivel. They can't get fooled with the fake handoffs and stuff. No, I'm coming. They can't get fooled with the fake handoffs and stuff. So they got to keep their eyes right, stay disciplined, and keep their man in front of them and make sure they be ready to break up passes or intercept passes when it comes.
Shoot,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Man, y'all didn't even say Justin Jacobs, man. Come on, man.
He's still easy. I know he got his impact, but I feel like he's still easing into it at the same
Yeah.
time. So that's why I ain't say him yet.
I'm gonna go with him. I think I think he's having a good game, especially with blitzing with Ott. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him as one. My second one. I don't know how I feel. I mean, I like this pick. I want to see how you guys feel about this pick. I'm gonna go Keon Ware Hudson. That's my second.
All right.
I think I think he's having a good game. He had a good game against Utah. I haven't seen him all season, so he must be doing something right in practice.
Yeah.
So and then I'm gonna go my third. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Jordan James. Jordan James didn't do too. I mean, he didn't do too bad. He didn't do too hot, but
Yeah.
he didn't have that much
I
last
was say
game. He only had 5 carries for
I think he had
38 yards.
six. I think it was 6. Maybe
I
it was.
thought it was 5.
I don't know. It's somewhere around there, but yeah, I would say he didn't touch the ball that much. I do think I think he will have a good game simply because I expect us to run up the score, so he will get a lot more touches. So I
Yeah,
can agree with that.
yeah, that's why I was gonna say because once Buggy's gas, they gonna put Jordan in. He's gonna run that. He's just gonna take over.
Yep.
Yeah, those are my 3.
Alrighty, so all right. Because I got one more thing I want to touch on before we get out of here. Give me y'all score predictions for the game.
Bro, we every week we've been shooting for the stars on our score, bro. And you know
Dan,
what?
them just ain't coming through
And,
for us, man.
and you know what? I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna keep going in that same direction because the day we become safe on this podcast with our scores, man, he's gonna do it. I'm gonna say 42-10.
Okay,
Damn, he's close to mine.
what you got, Jill?
I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna say 45-10, but
I was thinking about that too, but I was like, I feel like Dan's gonna not take that extra 3 points for some reason, bro.
yeah, that's why now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do 41-7. I'm gonna take 41-7.
All right. I'm looking at. I'm gonna say 38 to. Give me. Give me 38-10. I'll take 38-10. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But before we get out of here, I want to also touch on the college football playoff rankings. We come in at 6. Washington is at 5. Florida State, Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State. Ohio State was a shocker being put out number 1, if you ask me, because they haven't showed at all that they're the number 1 team in the country. I would have preferred that position be given to Michigan or Georgia. But I have a personal problem with the ranking, because if you are looking at Ohio State as the number 1 team, that means you can't seem to think that Michigan is on the same level as Ohio State, that you go as far as putting them over them. And a lot of people go say, well, State played Penn State recently. If we all go back and watch that game, Penn State was really not what the freak anybody was saying they was. Like, they couldn't get the ball going. Their defense was getting fucking throttled. So I truly didn't understand it. But yeah, I feel like, as much as I hate to say it, I feel like Washington should have been in the top 4 over one of those Big Ten schools. But hey, just leave room for us to improve and fight for our spot. I don't want to have to face Georgia the first game into the fucking playoffs. Like, I'm not saying I don't think that we can beat them, but I just feel like that is not the first game that anybody wants in a fucking playoffs. So that's where I'm at with that. What was y'all thought on the college football playoff rankings when they came out?
I think that was a good spot for us. I think only because like when you look like what's ahead of us, like OSU's undefeated, Georgia's undefeated, Michigan's undefeated, Florida State's undefeated, and Washington's undefeated with a head-to-head win against us. So I can live with that for now. Like, and I think what the committee is really basing like that Ohio State thing on, like what you said, I think they're just purely looking at strength of schedule. I mean, if you compare Ohio State's and theirs, it just comes down to strength of schedule. Like, yes, Ohio State didn't pass the eye test, but it's just they at the end of the day, I think the committee is looking more so at like style points, like we said earlier, head to heads and strength of schedule. And I think we're in that good part of strength of schedule. So if we just went out, we control our own destiny at the end of the day.
I agree. Jeff?
I kind of like how we're set up. Well, I'll say this. I feel like Ohio State shocked me only because I think they're not the number 1 team. But the only way I think how they looked at it was they beat a top 15 team in Notre Dame and they beat a top 15 team in Penn State. So that's why I think they're number 1.
But then comes the question you have to ask yourself: what the fuck are Penn State and Notre Dame?
I think they're in the top 15, aren't they?
Penn State, yeah. Notre Dame, no.
Where's Penn?
I think Notre Dame's 14th. They're one spot behind.
I thought Penn
They're
State was
one spot behind LSU.
Yeah, I was trying to look for the thing, but I can't find it.
I'm about to say, I don't know if you could pull it up real quick. I think
Yeah.
it's either Notre Dame's 15 or 14, but I do remember them being right behind LSU if I had to remember.
Top 15 team. I could have sworn they were. But maybe I'm tripping.
I don't know. The way I look at it,
Notre Dame is 15. Yeah, so y'all right. Notre Dame is 15.
Okay, so yeah, that's why I feel like I found it now. Yeah, so
the way I look at it, bro. This is the weirdest year of college football I've seen in a while, bro. I don't think there's a number 1 team. I think it's just gonna come down at the end of the day who comes to play on the field when it matters the most.
and then
go ahead, go Jeff. My bad.
And I was gonna say how I think like how they looked at Ohio State. They think they're a number 1 team because, like I said, they got 2 top 15 teams, and they know they're gonna keep winning until they either play Michigan or whoever else they play on their schedule.
Well,
and then I was gonna say,
go ahead.
For Georgia, why they put Georgia second is because they don't really have they do have a ranked win, don't they? But
yeah,
I don't think they're ranked anymore.
The strength of schedule was trash though.
What did they do that was ranked?
want to say 10.
I can look at the strength of schedule. I know where
I don't
that
think
is.
The
they.
stretch of
I
schedule
don't.
was trash, bro.
Was Florida ranked this past week?
Nah,
They might have played ranked Kentucky actually. It might have been
Yeah, they
Kentucky.
played.
it was
They beat. Yeah.
Kentucky. Yeah, it was Kentucky. That's the only
Okay,
team.
yeah, okay.
Cause
I
I
mean,
can tell you
outside of that, who the fuck did they play?
nobody. They just keep them up there because they're the reigning national champs.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
That's the buy shit.
So this
But
is what I was gonna say about strength of schedule. So they have Ohio State 15th, Georgia 100th, Michigan
Michigan 11.
112th, Florida State 49th, Washington 75th, Oregon 65th, Texas 9th, Alabama 8th, Oklahoma 40th, and then Ole Miss is 10th.
yeah, that's wild.
So that's why I feel like Ohio State they went off of strength of schedule. So they looked at the top 15 wins, and they were like, yeah, they're number one. But I feel like that's gonna add more fuel to the fire for Georgia. Because Georgia's like, oh yeah, they're already doubting us. Oh yeah, watch what we do now.
But
And Georgia has a chance
when
to
you think
prove it
about
this
it, bro,
weekend.
if you look at say Ohio State go on and win all the rest of their games, Michigan, guess who they do we realize who they have to play? They have to play fucking Missouri. Not Minnesota, bro. Minnesota. Can either one of y'all tell me anything about Minnesota for the fucking conference championship?
No.
They
Minnesota
just
is 3 and
oh
3 right now, and they're
yeah.
gonna be they on the
Minnesota just
verge of going to the conference championship because Michigan,
they
Ohio
beat
State, and
Iowa.
Penn. Yeah, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State are all in the same division, so they don't have to play nobody for their fucking conference championship.
That's just how it is every year. It seems like they try to give that hype to the other team in the other division, and it's never gonna happen because none of those teams are fucking anywhere near as good as the top two teams on the other side of that conference.
Uh-huh.
It's just pitiful to watch every year. Like what was it last year? It was fucking Michigan and fucking was it Purdue or was it Iowa?
Purdue. It was one of them.
And then the year before that, it was fucking Michigan and Iowa. I think
Uh-huh.
it's just pitiful to watch because they play those teams
They
and
don't
those
have to
types of
play
teams have
they don't have to play a championship caliber team for the championship,
yeah
and that shit pisses
yeah.
me off.
It's basically just another fucking warm up game before you get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that gives them a lot more time to heal because they're not gonna
Uh-huh.
start every
Mm-hmm.
starter.
They not gonna play. They ain't gotta worry about it. Even if they do start every starter, they gonna be out by half. They gonna be out after
And we're
halftime.
and
Time
like
basically.
the way we're looking right now on our collision course, if everything goes as planned, we're gonna be fucking fighting for our life on the last fucking week of fucking conference championship week.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's we're gonna be fighting for our fucking life. I'm telling you, it's gonna be 4 Washington and 5 Oregon. Watch, and the winner is getting in. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter how it goes.
I
But the
agree.
only thing that scares me is I want to Oklahoma or Texas have to lose. I think one of them have to lose one more time so we can see the other team like for sure like go down more. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to have no debates with anything in that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
The one thing I will say too is I don't want to see Georgia and Alabama play each other in the SEC championship and Alabama wins and then they put Georgia and Alabama in. Then we're really fucked.
And that's where I was trying to tell people, bro. When you look at it, if Alabama win out and they go on to beat Georgia in the conference championship, you have to understand that SEC has a bias with them. Like it don't matter what the fuck our strength of schedule look like. It don't matter what the Pac-12 look like right now. When it's all said and done, the SEC is gonna sell. That's what's gonna sell the national TV. At the end of the day,
That's
that's what people. I don't think people take into account of the fact that they have to think about what's gonna sell. Also, like ever since that Cincinnati shit, they realize like, all right, see now we fucked because we
just
that shit didn't sell. It didn't sell anything at all.
mm-mm.
Like nobody gave a
just
fuck about
just
that game.
just think about it, bro. So right now, if everything goes as how we think it's gonna go, you got Ohio State and Michigan. The winner is getting into the playoff right there.
Yeah.
That's one spot. Barring something crazy happens with Florida State, they're getting in. More than likely, that's another spot. So that leaves 2 spots.
If
I don't
we
know.
being honest, I think it's either gonna be 2 Pac-12 teams or 2 big team, big. I don't gonna say Big Ten. It's either gonna be 2 Pac-12 teams or a Big 12 school gonna slip in there somehow. Because if you think about it, FSU didn't play anybody this year. If they fuck around and lose one of these games on their way out, they don't have the
Oh yeah,
strength of schedule to
that's
say
why.
that they can
Yeah,
compete with anybody. They don't have that.
yeah,
Like
that's why.
so,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
I think either way it go. I think we getting in regardless. As long as we went out handle business, we getting in regardless. It's just a matter of where we land at inside that top 4 because I don't want to play Georgia's first fucking game. That's my biggest
And
issue.
I like I said, that's why I'm saying if Florida State doesn't lose the rest of the year, they're in. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how weak their schedule
Oh yeah,
was. I
nah,
mean,
yeah. Their conference champion this
but
year with
I
undefeated. So yeah, they
but
definitely
if they do lose, they have no room for recovery. It's not
Mm-hmm.
happening. They don't have the team. The best team that they're probably going to play in the conference championship is probably going to be ranked like 15th, 14th. That should not get you win after losing a game this late in the year.
Especially in November.
Yeah, this is
Hey,
championship November.
this championship. I often say this championship November, so we're gonna find out who supposed to be up there, and who not. But I
Yeah.
think that's all I got for everything. If that's all you boys got.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah.
Well, all right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow our Twitter page and Get Quacked Up Pod on Twitter, podcast on Twitter. You can follow my solo page at Six Season on Twitter. I also do a pod for other sports and everything. I also talk about Oregon on there. It's Inside the Six on all Spotify, Apple Podcast, Blase. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for supporting. Hopefully we can get Days on here next time. I know we say that probably almost every episode at this damn point, but Auntie be doing what Auntie gotta do. So yeah.
About you, Jim, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, not really. I mean, just go Ducks. Keep winning.
He say that same line every single fucking time, bro.
I don't got really nothing to shout out though. So.
That man be like, just go Ducks. Like, bro.
Oh my god,
Go ahead, Bryce.
Man, just make sure you all subscribe to our channel, man. We're gonna keep pushing these out as much as we can every single week. We're gonna try to bring a hype video out every single week. And like Jeff said, go Ducks, man, go Ducks.
Go Ducks.